All right, let's talk about the CFP schedule. So that came out, and again, kind of a news dumpy time. The CFP schedule comes out, and Alabama gets a transfer quarterback, and it all happens while the NFL draft is happening. And I'm like, well, of course. Or at least while we're all talking about the NFL draft. So let's talk about this CFP schedule. First things first, I am not going to sit here and get all angry at the CFP schedule because they were in a complete bind. These next 2 years, they are trying to build this schedule handcuffed. They're working with existing contracts. This is the last 2 years of the initial television contract, the initial bowl contract. And quite frankly, there's just not a lot that they can do. So this is patchwork. The next 2 years of the college football playoffs, I think, are going to be bumpy from a schedule standpoint. But it's bumpy because it has to be. Because you're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. This was not supposed to happen. We're doing this early. And so because of that, is it going to be perfect? No. So what is that schedule? Well, the first round is going to be Friday, December 20th and 21st, Friday and Saturday. That's fine. You know, you're going to have, I believe they're saying the first round will be Friday night and then a triple header on Saturday. But then the quarterfinals are going to go, and they're going to be New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, December 31st and Jan 1. And then you get into some more concerning aspects of this. First of all, I think that that's way too late. That being said, they are totally handcuffed. So it's not their fault. If we wanted this expansion, this is how we have to do it. They did, let me reiterate, those that built this schedule did the best that they possibly could with what they were dealt, the hand they were dealt. Was it a good hand? No, it's a bad hand. The semifinals are going to be on a Thursday and Friday, January 9th and 10th of Wild Card Weekend in the NFL. Barf. Yikes. I mean, again, that is a terrible hand to be dealt. Are they doing the best that they can? Yes. And then the championship game, again, this horrid idea of playing the championship game on a Monday is going to continue. It's going to be January 20th after the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. So let's just back up for a moment. So we're going to play conference championships the first week of December. Have this stupid break that we always have to have in college football for finals, which is the dumbest thing in the world. And we're not going to play the first round until December 20th and 21st. Okay, fine. Then we're going to play the quarterfinals on the traditional college football weekend day, if you want to call it that, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Then we have to play our two most important rounds against the most powerful sports entity on the planet, the NFL playoffs. Slow clap. Thursday and Friday of Wild Card Weekend, which means that week is going to be a lot of different things, including Black Monday in the NFL and leading into Wild Card Weekend of the NFL playoffs. So depending on the matchups, you could be looking at the college football semifinals being the third best news story of the week. That's a problem. That's a problem. Again, that's a huge problem. And then you're looking at a championship game on a Monday after the divisional round. So we're going to play the divisional playoffs, the best weekend in all of sport, in all of football, the divisional round, right? I mean, people love the divisional round, and rightly so. And we're going to have conference championship games set and then come back on Monday night and play the national championship game. Oh, I mean, terrible. Could they do any better? I don't know. Probably not. Because these first 2 years have to be fit. They've got to be square peg, round hole. Like, is it going to be perfect? No. So, did they do the best that they possibly could? Yes. Is this awful? Absolutely. This is terrible. This is terrible. And it speaks to the importance of why the playoff in 26 and beyond has got to be fixed. And not just fixed. That's probably the wrong word. It needs to be constructed way better. And we need to start thinking outside of the box. This playoff needs to be pulled closer to the regular season, not further into the NFL playoffs. We need to avoid the NFL playoffs. That is the most powerful sports entity on the planet. Why in the world compete with that? You shouldn't. You shouldn't. You know what you end up having to do? Play valuable inventory on Thursday and Friday night. Come on. Like, we can't do that. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. So in the future, this speaks to the importance of having to construct the playoff properly. And the first thing they need to do is pull it closer to the regular season. Start playing. Let's go. In fact, I personally believe that we shouldn't extend the championship game past New Year's. We should be playing the national championship game on New Year's Day. Why? Because that is synonymous with college football. Go back to doing what you do best. You own Saturdays, you own New Year's. Go back to it. Go back to it. It'll do a lot of different things, but I've got 5 in particular. If we move the playoff closer to the regular season and stop with this stupid break for academics, and we start playing these games preferably on Saturdays, and there's a lot of different ideas I have for that, but we culminate in a championship game on a New Year's Eve if it's, competing with a Sunday on the New Year's Day. New Year's Day. New Year's Day is when we should be playing these. Here's the 5 things that it would do. Number 1, avoid the NFL playoffs. Avoid it like the plague. Why? Because it will crush you. It will crush you. And they don't care if they crush you. They will crush everything in their wake. Avoid it. Avoid it. Number 2, it helps you fix the calendar in college football. It helps you avoid this stupid notion that we need an early signing day in December while the transfer portal opens up, while coaches are being hired and fired. That is a disaster. December is a disaster for college football coaches. The calendar needs to be fixed in a major way. Part of a fix could be play games. Don't take a big break. Pull the playoff towards the regular season. Number 3, it'll allow you to own Saturdays and New Year's Day again. That is, from a traditional standpoint, that is college football. Go back to owning those things. Number 4, it'll give your players more time and more of a break between the end of their season and their NFL decisions, whether to enter the NFL draft, and once they do, more time to heal up before the combine. More time. More time. 20 days is a long time, so play it on New Year's Day. And then last but not least, I think that playing the playoff, immediately starting conference championship games and going week after week maintains momentum. Why are the playoffs so great in other sports? They maintain momentum during the playoffs. The NFL does this. By the way, lower levels of college football do this. We don't have to stop for academics in lower levels of college football because academics apparently aren't important for those kids, even though, by the way, they don't have the budgets or support staff like the bigger. I digress. Maintaining momentum is a big reason. So the 5 things: avoid the NFL playoffs, fix the college football calendar, own Saturdays and New Year's Day, give players more time for their NFL decisions and getting healthy for their NFL prep, and you maintain momentum for your playoff. All of these things are no-brainers. So while this playoff schedule is horrendous for the next 2 years, it's just what we have to live with if we want expansion, which we do, which is good for the sport. But what we want in 2026 and moving forward is a playoff that is more sustainable and benefits college football and its fans more so than just extending on into the bowl season.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.